Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I am so excited to introduce a new web series, We Talk Tech Seniors. And this is in partnership with New Horizons.
Yeah, some of the great topics they're gonna have over a 12 or 13 episode series are going to be gardening, sailing, fraud prevention, and even online dating towards the end. So I hope you can join them for all the episodes. And without further ado, enjoy the first one.
Okay, welcome to We Talk Tech Seniors, everybody. Today we are talking about adaptive sailing, and I am joined by Terry LeBlanc, longtime advocate of adaptive sailing, and Ian Price, a avid sailor and Technology for Living's innovation strategist. Thank you both for joining me. How long have you both been sailing?
Adaptive sailing since '94. Before that, I was living in Nova Scotia and there was no access to adaptive boats. So came back to BC and there was a sip and puff boat waiting for me. But Sam Sullivan had started it.
I've been sailing for about 5 years now here in the Okanagan.
So what kind of boats do you both use? Is there a specific kind or is it just what's available?
We now use the Martin 16, which is adapted for people with disabilities. So because it was, we could design, or we were on board from the beginning, we had our input into it itself.
Here in the Okanagan, we have a couple different boats. We have the Martin 16, which I primarily use, but we also have a sonar for people that want to operate a larger boat, or even for those that just want to accompany somebody and hang out and enjoy the wind.
So where do you two sail?
I sail at Jericho Sailing Center, and I believe adaptive sailing started there in 1989, I believe. So they've been great hosts.
Yeah. And here in the Okanagan, we're based out of the Kelowna Yacht Club. And so with that partnership, all of our boats are able to stay on the dock, which is very, very convenient. Perfect place.
What is your favorite part of sailing?
Yes, my favorite part is, and you'll notice in a lot of videos on adaptive sailing, is the empty wheelchair. You take a few tacks and then you just look back and there it is. And I can actually control the boat better than I do my sip and puff wheelchairs.
Yeah, I think that I just love the adventure. I like being out on the water. Being that low to the water is quite an impressive thing for me. And I like the challenge. I like the craziness of being out on the water in a 16-foot boat on a ventilator. It just brings out that inner child.
Do you want to tell us about the history of adaptive sailing, Terry?
Yes. It was 86 that Margaret Thatcher donated a boat to Rick Hansen. He's a fisherman, as we know, not a sailor. So he gifted the boat to Sam on the condition that he start a sailing program. He started, at the time, the Sable Sailing Association in BC, and it just took off from there. And it really is, I say, the fountainhead of adaptive sailing, because very shortly it was in Victoria and Kelowna, and then lended to another community the following summer. So they would get a critical mass of volunteers and avid sailors who would then work towards buying a boat.
I've been in a boat with an outboard motor before, but I've never been sailing. So I have a lot of questions for you guys, and I think our viewers will also have some of these similar questions on just the practicality of it. How do you even get in the boat? How does that happen? What's that transition like?
Well, for me, all of our boats are dry launched, it's called. So everybody has their boat on a trailer and it's lowered into the water and then the trailer brought up. So that's Jericho Sailing Center. So we have an overhead lift like I use in my home to get in the boat and out of the boat again. There's also a ramp for people that can do transfers. They sit up on the gunnel and they get their legs in.
So here in Kelowna, we have a little bit different setup. Our boats are all in the water And we have a hoist with a swing arm that will pick me up out of my chair, essentially, and then lower me into the boat.
Like something on a fishing trawler, except in reverse.
Exactly.
They're putting you
Yes.
in the sea.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you control the boat when you're in it?
Personally, I use sip and putt, so quite easy to remember. You sip to starboard and up to port, and you sip to bring in the sails. This is a second straw. You sip on the second straw to control the sails. So you head downwind, you blow, much like the wind will do when you're heading downwind. Blow into your open sails.
I use a custom control unit where I have wires connected to my thumbs, and touching my thumb to my index finger on the left hand operates the tiller, and on the right hand operates the winch for the sails.
What are some examples of other control mechanisms for people with other kinds of disabilities?
I think somebody that has a lot more upper body strength than myself could actually use the rigging. So on the Martin 16 and on the sonar, there is a way for somebody to physically pull the ropes to let in the sheets and such. So lots of different options.
They could probably adapt it for most people of any kind of ability.
Absolutely.
They could. There's actually a joystick version, electric joystick, that you can use with an auto helm. And then there is an adaptation where you put, it's called a windlass. It goes on the top of the keel and manages the sails. So you reach up and there's a button to push, and you can bring in the sails or roll them out. Yeah, I think you can even do that with the joystick.
I guess safety is a big deal for those of us who aren't strong swimmers. Can you tell me about all the safety mechanisms built into these boats to keep the sailors safe?
There's a 300-pound lead bulb gets cranked down in the water, and that counterbalances the sail just blowing you on the side, because I'm not a great swimmer either. There is the positive foam. The foam inside is injected all through the hull. And I've seen them filled up with a garden hose, and they just don't sink.
Being on a ventilator essentially tied to the boat, I need to make sure that we're not tipping over or filling up with too much water. We also have a pump. If the boat does start to fill up, then we are able to pump the water out until we get back to the dock.
How would you recommend getting started in adaptive sailing?
There is at Jericho Adaptive Sailing they'll send you out with an instructor, or you can just go out and enjoy the trip. So you can get lessons, learn how to sail.
So I'm going to put up a list of locations where there's adaptive sailing clubs onto the screen, so everybody can see, no matter where you're from. There's lots of locations that you can contact in your local area to find out more information.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, go to the website, find the local chapter, contact them, say that you're interested, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to take you out for a rip and see how you like it.
I think that's something you'll find across a lot of recreational activities that have been adapted, is that the people who are facilitating it, they really just want everybody to have a great time. They want to share the activity, the hobby. They want to share it, and they want to make it accessible. So please reach out if this is at all interesting to your local chapter. As Terry said, it's spread like wildfire across the country. Coast to coast availability now. Thank you, Ian and Terry, for joining me. This has been fantastic, and I hope to get out there one day, and I hope you see some new members who have been intrigued after this video.
Thanks, Taylor.